over time, you'll prefer it. Number 2, and this is one thing I wanted to do with this list, is not give you the typical, just feel confident in yourself. Yeah, fuck you, I'm going bold. Hello guys and welcome back. It's been a little while. I took around about 10 days off. I had a lot of shit to catch up with, so focused a lot on the, just check if this is recording, yep. I focused a lot on the website in recent days. I thought it would be worth doing. I've gone very video and audio heavy, and the website was always the focal point of MSI College and now First Man, and I thought it was, you know, it was fitting that I gave that a good week or so of good solid work and effort. I think a lot of you may have seen that, yeah, there's some new content on there, some interesting content. Something about a biohacking community that I went to visit. A guy had a magnet in his finger. It was crazy, right? You can see that on the website, but most importantly, there's now audio versions of the articles. So if you can't be bothered to read, most of us can't in the modern era, at the top, you'll see it. It's the audio file of the article. Press play, close your phone down if you want, put it in your pocket, crack on with whatever you're doing. I think that's a huge benefit for the website, and I think once Google understands how to read audio, they're going to start pushing forward with that, I think. But anyway, now into the video that you came here to watch. We're going to talk about how to deal with losing your hair. Now, if any of you have followed me for a long time, you'll know that when I was younger, I'm 27 now, when I was about 21, I went through an absolute, I think I was about 22, I went through an absolute ton of stress. So many things happened in my life, people dying around me, some slight financial issues that rose up which shouldn't. It was my fault, really. Just a lot of shit, put it that way. So over the period of around about 2 weeks, I was laid in my bed, upside down. I was rolling everywhere. I'd wake up in the morning, the sheets were everywhere, my feet were at the other end of the bed. My legs were wrapped up in the curtains. Bearing in mind, I went to bed normally, head on the pillow, feet other end of the bed. And I'd just wake up upside down, feet in the curtains, just in a pool of sweat and everything. And I felt dreadful. And it wasn't until one day where I was a personal trainer at the time, and I went to train one of my clients who I've been training for a long, long time. And she looked at me and she said, "Chris, you've got a hole straight down the middle of your hair. Like, what did you do? Did you buzz it? Did you cut it? Like, what happened?" Because it just looked so irregular. It definitely wasn't normal balding. And I had no idea. I just knew it was from stress. I just knew something had happened. So it was always really greasy. It was full of sebum. It was horrible. It turns out it was telogen effluvium. I later found out that it just didn't heal. I went through a lot of stress continually. And it turned into chronic telogen effluvium, which means that your hair just doesn't grow back. And to this day, I still don't really know what has happened or if it's triggered alopecia or what, but I don't really give a fuck. Like, it got to the point where I just thought, it is what it is. Like, my dad's bald, maybe it triggered 21, 22, it sucks dick, but I think it triggered alopecia quicker. I think it started off as telogen effluvium and just said, look, you're going to lose it anyway. We've just fast forwarded the process. Is what it is. To be honest, I actually feel 10 times more confident and happier with the way my hair is now. But that's all great for me, but let's see how to help you guys out there who are currently losing your hair. So, topic of the video, how to deal with losing your hair. Point 1, and you know what I'm going to say, guys, is shave it. You have to buzz it. Now, I'm not one of these dicks that's just going to say, get a razor blade, take it clean off. It's just not wise to do that. You know, your friends will see you for the first time, maybe they'll laugh. You know, I always said there's 2 things that you wonder about when you're losing your hair or going bald, and you shave it, buzz it, whatever. Number 1, probably the most important for guys, is can you still get women? Number 2 is, do you look good? You know, do you think you look good? You don't have to look like David Beckham with a shaved head, but as long as you think, yeah, it looks all right, I can get by like this, I don't mind how I look, then I think you've ticked the main two boxes. Now, like I said, I'm not a dick who's going to say do it overnight, right? And now the way you get to it is you start at maybe a grade 6, or maybe, let's say you've had long hair to begin with. You start with a scissor cut, the lowest that they can go. Then you drop it down to maybe a 6, a 5, a 4, 3, 2, 1. Eventually like 1 with a skin fade or something, and you just take it from there. And over time you'll just become more confident. And this sounds very strange coming from somebody who used to absolutely love his hair. He used to have real thick, wavy, white boy hair. And I can honestly say right now, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't go back. If I ever ended up having a hair transplant for whatever reason, I don't know whether it would be commercialized or whatnot, I would shave it. I would go straight back down to a 1, skin fade on the sides and back. It's just less hassle. I mean, this one, it's not the best cut in the world. I did it myself the other day. It's just so much quicker and easier. So why would I ever go back to paying like, let's always do this in America, like 20, 30 bucks for a haircut, like every 2, 3, 4 weeks, and having to sit in the barbers for half an hour to an hour. It's pain in the ass. I'm not going back to that. I wake up in the morning, I can go straight to the gym, I look fine, I can shower at the gym, I don't have to do my hair gel or hair dry it, or see some guys straightening their hair now. It's craziness. I don't have to deal with any of that shit. I love it. So that's the first positive, is to shave it, go down gradually, and I'm telling you guys, over time, you'll prefer it. Number 2, and this is one thing I wanted to do with this list, is not give you the typical, just feel confident in yourself. Fuck you, I'm going bold. Number 2 is orthotropics. So a lot of you may have followed my orthotropics content, the documentary I did with Mike Mew, the video I recently did about how to become a better looking man. That's on here. You could search through the content, guys, you'll find it. But basically, you want to strengthen your jaw muscles, you want to increase the height of your cheekbones, you want to push this jaw forward, and it can all be done with something called orthotropics, not to be confused with orthodontics. Like I said, I've got a documentary on here with a guy called Mike Mew. Have a look on the channel. I'll put the videos in at the end. I'll bring them up. I can do that. And another one on how to become a better looking man. I'll bring them both up. You can watch them. But if your face is, I've seen so many guys out there with lovely long thick hair and a flabby face, no chin. They're not actually that good looking, but because they've got hair, yeah, they do all right with women. Men think they're good looking. They're quite proud of the way they look. If you took their hair off, they'd look awful. So the guys, let's say, who was that criminal? I shouldn't really call him that. He's a model now. Jeremy Meeks. The guy who went viral for his mugshot. He hasn't got a lot of hair. He's actually like thinning on top. He's going bald, but he's a ridiculously good looking guy from his bone structure on his face. And it doesn't matter. Freddie Ljungberg, a footballer, was the same. He was a model at one point. Thierry Henry, another footballer, comes to mind. Zinedine Zidane. I don't know why I'm naming footballers, but a lot of these guys that went bald, they look even better because they've got such high cheekbones. They've got hollow cheeks, strong jaw, in terms of width and protrusion, I guess. I think I'm trying to be too smart for myself. But in terms of like them having a strong masculine face, they can shave the hair off and still look fantastic. Which actually brings me on to my next 2 points. But check out his 2 videos at the end. I'll bring them up. Next 2 points are, number 1, I think this might be maybe the most important. And that's build muscle. So you look at people like The Rock, or The Rock's a handsome guy. So Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel's not a handsome guy. He's not a good looking guy, but he's got the deep voice and he's got the muscles to go with the bald head. So it kind of creates this image of just a masculine alpha male. And I think that certainly helps. If you ever see a bald guy who's skinny or fat, it just doesn't look good. If you see a bald guy who's big and muscular, always surrounded by women and other men, respect the fuck out of them. I don't think I need to go much further on that one. Just build muscle. Don't go crazy, get on the steroids or whatever. Although you haven't got to, worry about losing your hair. So there is that. But just do it properly. Just lift heavy weights. Now, the second point to the back of that was a beard. A beard helps if you can grow one. I did a video before about how to grow facial hair, or an article. Maybe I should do a video soon, because I think it can definitely be done by anybody with the right steps. I'll do that. I'll do that next. I'll make a note of that. But by having a beard, you're not just an egg. You know, it's not bold, 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 bold. You're just a face. Kind of look like a baby, right? So I think by having a beard and the bald head or the shaved heads, it looks fantastic on black guys. If you're a black guy, or let's say an Asian guy, listen to this. If your skin isn't white, basically, shave your head. Shave your head. It's such a good fucking look for black guys, especially. Think Tupac, rest in peace, Kobe. You think Michael Jordan, Rick Ross. The list is endless. These guys look amazing. Tyrese. But yeah, in general, I think grow a beard if you can, or at least have some level of stubble. You don't, like I said, want to just be a face. I just don't think it looks as good. It looks fine, but it doesn't look as good as it can with a beard, I think, personally. But then again, I might be a little biased because I got one. The next point, I don't know what number we're on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 is self-awareness. Now, a lot of guys, including myself, I think back to some of the times I was in denial. I remember a few times where somebody videoed a football match and it was raining, and I could see myself with, you know, a big bald patch on the back of my head, and that can't be me. Is that me? It's you, son. You're going bald. You know, it helps when somebody takes the piss out of you. Let's say they're like, Sturmy, you're going bald. You got, yeah, fuck it, I am. It is what it is. You got to make jokes about yourself. You got to just see it as a normal part of life. And all the other things above that I mentioned, if you start building them up, then when somebody does say that to you, it's easier. You know, you get a little bit of muscle. You know, big strong face. You shave your head. Maybe you've got a beard. Somebody says you're going bald. You're like, pfft. It's, you know, I've got so many other things going for me, which will be my final point I'll bring up in a minute. But that self-awareness is key. You know, stop hiding from the mirrors. Stop taking photos in dark light. Just be honest with yourself, guys. It's not the end of the world. I know it feels like it, but once you buzz it, you actually feel all right. Like, I'm so confident now to be on camera, whereas I've got all the lights on in here, and I couldn't give two shits if my head's shining like an egg, right? But I used to be petrified. I used to sit at certain angles, or if people were sat behind me in like I don't know, what would it be? Something like a cinema. As soon as the lights went off, I was like, yes, thank God. It is what it is, you know, it's going. You can't deal with it. It's just, you know, it's got this horrible, sick, thinning hair. Just get rid of it. Get it off. Now, my final point, and I think this is equally as important as the building muscle, maybe more important. There's a two-parter to this, okay? So I'm going to start with the one. Here's what happens when you go bold. You realize that there's so many other areas of your life that you can be good in, and you don't have to rely on, you know, your hair for who you are as a person. When I was young and I had hair and I was going around thinking I was the man getting women, I was a dick. I was a massive, arrogant asshole. So when that happened, it made me into somebody who was a lot better, who valued different things, who valued maybe happiness over, let's say, sleeping with 4 or 5 girls a week. And I love it. I love where I'm at now. You know, somebody said to me, you can go, I've got girlfriends. I wouldn't. But if I was a single man and somebody said, you can go and sleep with 4 models this week, or you can work on First Man and become a better man and increase where you are, I'm picking First Man, because I know one's temporary and the other one has longevity, and the other one still comes back. What's that quote? You'll lose success chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing success. Oh, I think they put money in there, but that's so true. And it backs up the point I'm going to make about all other areas of life can be improved. And like I said, there's two parts to this. So when you go bold, you realize that other areas of your life matter more. So I've always said the guy who's losing his hair knows more about hair loss than anybody else. Now, it forces you into other areas. So you're losing your hair and you start thinking, I've got to become a better man. I've got to improve my body. So the guy who's losing his hair might be a fitness expert because he realizes, shit, I need to improve in another area. I need to boost that up. So let's say your hair is a 0 out of 10. I'm not saying grades, although it would be. But your body's a 10. Your success is a 10. Your wealth is a 10. Your charisma is a 10. Your fashion sense is a 10. Your assets are a 10. Your personality is a 10. I know I've made that long-winded, but you get the point, right? And I feel as though it forces you down that route, but also you should be self-aware that, you know, you realize, shit, I'm going bold. I better improve all those areas. But then you also realize when you improve all those areas, being bold doesn't matter, because you're such a valuable man anyway, that being bold is just like a tiny, tiny, somewhat of a blemish on an uncut gem to make it topical, because that's on Netflix right now. But yeah, if you bring all of those together, guys, and especially, like I said, all the other areas of your life, the things above, they help. They ease the pain of going bold, and the bottom one about all other areas of life and the self-awareness and realizing that it's just a bit of hair. I can be the perfect man in every area and have a bald head. Like, what's going to happen? You know, you're going to be pretty much Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Do you really think women and other men around you are going to be like, oh, he's weird, you know, women would fall over their own feet to get after Dwayne Johnson. And other men, like, men jump over fucking seats in, like, let's say The Rock's at the UFC event or something. People will like leap over 3 layers of seats just to get a selfie with The Rock. They just like bump in there. His hair certainly has an effect, or lack of hair certainly has affected his life. And it shouldn't yours either, guys. So like I said, those points that I said at the top, the first couple, I think it was the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're going to help ease the pain. So just to recap, shaving it gradually, orthotropics, building muscle, having a beard maybe, if you can, self-awareness. You know, these things are going to lessen the pain. They're going to make it easier. The journey's going to be more comfortable, and you're going to look better bald or with a shaved head. The bottom one's for you. The all other areas of life. For some guys, losing their hair, and I think me too, is the best thing that ever happened to them, because they realize, I'm going to have to chase something else. It's like short guys. Short guys are successful as fuck. You look at Hollywood, everybody's tiny. And I think it comes from, okay, I'm short, I need to make up for that in other areas. And that's not me saying that, by the way. I just think that's the mindset, at least I think I would have. And I think a lot of them have. So like, as soon as my hair was like falling out, I started thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to get really rich. I haven't got to get rich, but I want to get really rich. I want to get a lot bigger. I want to get in great shape in the gym. I want to do a lot more orthotropics and strengthen my face. I want to boost up all the other areas of life so it becomes somewhat meaningless. You know, and I can just glide into my 30s, 40s, 50s, happy. Instead of that's the thing you don't want, guys. You don't want to go bold and sit there worrying each day, like looking for wigs and hair transplants. And, you know, if it happens, it happens. You go and get a hair transplant in the future, is what it is, right? But you don't want to walk around wearing caps, like worrying about the light behind you and has somebody just taken a photo, somebody stood behind me, shit. You know, you go on a date with a girl and you always keep her in front of you, and like, you don't want that shit, guys, you know, or a comb over and you're swiffing it back, or, oh, it's a bright day, I better wear a hat. Like, it's stressful. Just go through the steps that I said, be happy, and stop worrying. It's really not as bad as it seems. You know, if I can go through it with these giant ears and still look okay, you can too. So, don't worry, guys.